Right, folks, I thought I'd just explain what we've done in this session, or what we're going to do in this session, because I'll put it at the front. We fitted a new chain, one from Sagan's Brezzy, German. They're good, well priced. I actually run the chain at the end without any oil for a session, and you can see it's still as good as gold. I took the rakers down because they were only factory setting, and I like a bit of extra dig with these big saws, big thick chips. Look, probably 50 thou now going on. But regular viewers will know that we timed it into factory settings, 3mm, 2.5 to 3mm, and although it stops all the kickback and what have you, it makes them real sloggers, but they won't rev, and there is a bit more in them. So after one session with the ignition at what it should be, we brought the saw back up, and we set it another couple, 2.5 degrees more advanced. Took the flywheel off and just moved the stator plate, and it was a different saw. You can tell the sound's different. It barks instead of grumbling along. I mean, they'll go all for 50 years on the factory settings. That's not saying they weren't on the renewed ones, but it's got a lot more bot, but it revs another couple of thousand more. It's probably only doing 5,000 RPM at the first session. And there's a lot more in these saws with them being 106 cc's and real sloggers. So we've amended that. We went back out. We got to put oil in, although it flushed a lot better, and it was a lot sharper sounding, whatever. So we then put some oil in at the end, and to be fair, it whizzed through. So a little bit of fine tuning, you can find a few extra without getting your Dremel out and opening the holes up and all that palaver. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do inside, you've only got the same amount of air in there that you're pushing, pulling, or trying to. And I'm not going to get into that. If they believe they get good results, that's fair enough. Who am I to argue? I'm just an old fella. Right, over and out. Hope you like it, but stick with it. And she goes fairly well at the end. We were using decent sized logs today, but Sagan Spreggy, Brezzy, something like that. This one was 72 links, one standard, that's how it custom made. I bought a couple of others for the big bars. So there you go. Over and out. Catch you later. Hope you enjoyed. Right folks, going to do a bit of a trial this morning. I bought some new, can you see the name? I don't know how you pronounce it. Sagan Brezzy. I have quite a bit of stuff off them now. From Germany. Reasonably priced, they look good. I had one some custom made, 72, and I've just put one on the well, you can see, whatever you call it, the 070 on the 21-inch bar, 76 DL 404 1.63. We'll see if it'll start up. Is it going to stay up? The camera. I said beware that this bow tie is really a camera. Won't forget the switch today. Right, that seems to be going. We'll go down to the block. Right, Carol. I'm going to take a couple of sticks down in case I take a different saw down one of the big bozos. Well, I'm back on my own. Grandies have gone back, not seeing them again for another 6 months and more. Till Easter. They're really getting the feel for the outdoors now. They're at the age. I think the big lad, Corbin, is definitely going to go looking for a job on the local parks, cutting the grass. He'd stay on that tractor all day long. Harley's a bit younger. He's only coming up there. We'll put him at 16. Just to keep the record straight. He's getting the hang of it. I've got some decent wood. Look, they're going to be 14-inch, some of them. So it's a reasonable test for the saw, so it can get a big bite at things. Put them on the top. Seems to be starting better when you switch it on. Just over TDC and 1 pull. Chains on. 7 minutes to midnight on the near side. 7 minutes past midnight on the off side. Right, yes. See if I can get it going better. saws turning out at about 5,000 RPM. No huge RPM, no huge numbers, but makes the torque. It's the weight of the saw. Doesn't matter how much you lean on it, the RPM doesn't change. But that's what I'm saying. Of course, I'm only using standard rakers, about 25 thou. I usually have 75 on them. But we'll go and take the rakers down and see what happens. Right, so I'm just going to take. I'm going to give it. It's not as revvy as I would like it, because of where we've got the advance. So I'm just going to show you how I'm just going to put a little bit more advance in it. Although it's a really good starter, think it has dropped a little bit it's dropped the RPM. You can't rev when it's retarded. No, retarded. This is how they play out on YouTube over the seas. They're just sloggers. They're barely 5,000 RPMs about it. I'd like to see 7. We'll hear 7. We'll judge 7. So we'll just do that, and then when we've done this, we'll do the rakers. Need to use my full of chickens. Chicken button going down the bore. Now, I know it's too far retarded, well not retarded, to be where the battery say it should be. Yeah, that's fine, that's round. It doesn't matter where you put the mixture, you get there's no change in the RPM. So we'll just what size is it? It's not bad, is it? Not that one. A bit less than that, I think. Won't be that. No, I'm stuck with that one, I think. Or it might be that one. What about the same? Let's just say 5/8 feet width. Stop. That's very tight. Very tight. We're all fiddling around with them. Spacer. Just $10 ever spent. 17. No, it's a wrong one. 19. It's another 17. I think it's this one here. Rubs. 1, 2, 3. 3. Don't need a lot when they're at the point. Okay, they're locked off.
Five minutes later.
Catching the chain. See what difference a little bit of fine tuning makes. So this test will be with the rakers down. We should have done it with just the rakers first, but we'll see if it's a bit freer revving. We're there, can't beat short bars. There. tough when you... Of course, we all know that big rakers increase the chance of kickback, but you just got to be careful. Driving at 70 miles an hour instead of 50 increases the risk, but you still do it. Well, I don't. I do tractor speed. That one done? Yeah. Right, that'll do. Right, we'll get back down the field. Right folks, we'll see what difference that makes. I have charted it up the top, but you'll notice the difference in the exhaust tone. It's not so dull, it's crisper, cracker, you know, boom, bang, and she's revving freer. We'll see how it performs on the wood. Put it up this end, as you can see. Hopefully we won't get the kickback. The difference, it's a lot freer, revving better. It's just a question of getting the mixture just crack on. I'll give it one little tweak, richened it a bit, and that made it cut better. So without a dyno, you see, you're just in the dark, and you have to use the same chain. Impossible to gauge. It's still starting all right now, with a couple of 3 degrees more in it. Being sick of this. What was it? I've got one left. Oh, look. That's it. Well, there you go. You have to make up your own decisions, assumptions. I definitely think it was better. Right, I've had enough. I've got to get them up to the base now. Over and out. Thanks for watching. Bye. I should also note folks that I hadn't put any oil in when I came back down, so I was running the chain dry, so that didn't help. Bye for now. I think it's only fair to try it with an oil chain, so I've found another couple. Just get it warmed up. No, not. Out of juice now. I can't win. Hey? Shall have been running weak then. you know, it's only half full. Big tank sees. I just can't see, can you? You can't see. Alright, back. Ignition. Digwell. What about that? It's a 5mm by 25mm. Bolt inside. It's inside the magneto. Oh, I don't know what to do. I just have memory lapses. Hey, oh, it doesn't help. Hey, the old early onset. And then you're alright for a few days. Then you do something else stupid. Hey, there's the chain. It's a bit blue. I think it got a bit hot. Hey. We're supposed to do that. Hey. Wasn't a fair test with no oil. Hey. Okay, over and out. See you next week. We'll see you tomorrow. Mr. Digger will be down tomorrow. Because that's how I'll keep get the sundries. Okay, over and out.